Richie. I'm calling in Richie already. Hi, Richie.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
You're looking fresh.
Hey.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we're waiting for more people to join.
Oh, sure.
4:30 is the kickoff time. So we don't want any, trust me, there's no traffic situation, no network glitch.
Right.
Everything is going to go smoothly. So like I did say to every individual, this is Richie Wingo. His LinkedIn profile is Richie Wingo. You can email him at r.wingo@CAINERGY.com in case you have personal questions or inquiries you want to send to him after this podcast. That's r.wingo, wingo@CAINERGY.com. Like I said, CAINERGY is spelled CAINERGY.com. And you want to visit our website is www.CAINERGY.com to send us an email to the CAINERGY email. That's info@CAINERGY.com. My name is yes, I did introduce myself, sorry. My name is Omolmi Dan Okai. I'm the communication and PR specialist for CAINERGY Group. My own email is o.okai, that's OKAYI @CAINERGY.com. So yes, we're just starting in the next 2 minutes. So before that, yes, everybody, this is Richie, this is Wumi. We have, for those who don't know, we have 3 branches in Nigeria. We have the Port Harcourt office, we have the Lagos branch, and we have the Abuja branch. And we're a global company. We have a company in Australia as well. So hi, Richie, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
We're just going to go straight into business. All right.
Sure.
So Richie, let's get to meet you now. Who do we say Richie Wingo is, and what's your background?
I mean, it's a pretty deep subject, but I mean, my overall background is I've been in IT for over 25 years. I was a software developer starting out, and over the years, I just grew into, project manager, process improvement, and just became a specialist. I'm actually an Oracle Enterprise One, which used to be called JD Edwards. I'm the specialist with that. I've been doing that for over 25 years, and I've been doing AWS cloud and integration type work and all those types of things for some very large companies around the world. And I've been a big focus on like digital transformation and coming into companies and transforming companies and getting them to optimize processes and things like that. So by doing all that, I've worked in a lot of different industries. I've been, working at a foundation. I'm not going to drop names of any companies today, but I worked at a foundation in New York. Worked at a big entertainment company in New York as well. I've been involved in power and energy. I've worked in the mining industry, worked for the government, retail, and of course, oil and gas. So, and I used to be a director of oil and gas for advisory for one of the big 4 firms in Lagos. I was actually lived in Lagos for around about 10 years. And so I do get around Lagos. I know my way around. I can go anywhere I want to in Lagos pretty well. VI and Ikoyi. I used to live on Ikoyi, off Glover Road.
Wow.
One of my favorite areas. I used to love going.
In the Nigerian language, we say you're Omo Eko.
Yeah, I'm not that far into, I'm not thrilled. What I say, when people are talking to me, I understand what they're saying, but I don't speak back. So I just can't get it to come out right. I got too much country boy in me, and it just doesn't come out right, So, but I know my way around. I've been to Port Harcourt a lot. I've been to Abuja quite a bit. I've been to Benin, and I mean all over. So I've been around, especially when I was with the big 4 firm. I used to travel around to see a lot of companies because I focused on small to mid-sized oil and gas companies, helping them transform and type of things. But that's my background pretty well. I mean, it's very technical and very process-driven background, and anybody that's been involved with me so far at CAINERGY knows that could probably see that already happening and everything right now. So what I've been putting in place. So, yep.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Now over to the second question. Okay, so what's the transition, like your career? How did your career take shape in Nigeria? Like, how did you move from Houston to Nigeria?
Well, I mean, I finished just finished like a 4-year project at Tiffany and Company, you know, the jewelry company, and I was looking for a new project, and company, an EPC company in Houston, reached out to me. They were having some problems with their ERP system. They were actually trying to split the ERP system, and they had a consulting firm in there doing it, and it was messing things up. So they reached out to me, wanted to know if I'd come in and do an evaluation. They liked me a lot, and I found out they actually owned a Nigerian part of the business. I mean, so they at the time when they were active, they were probably the largest EPC company in West Africa at the time when they were going. So they were pretty big. But so they, you know, after being there for a while, they offered me a position. I mean, I'm already, at that time, I've already made about 3 or 4 trips to Nigeria, and absolutely hated it at first. I did not want to go. I did not want to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, people were sending me pictures of Nigerians walking down the street with hyenas on log chains and all kinds of stuff, you know,
Oh,
just
wow.
trying to mess with my mind.
Exactly.
And everything. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. But after each trip, I just basically fell in love with the country, and so they offered me a position to come over and to be head of projects and process improvement for the EPC company, and so I came and. I got put on a rotation where I was actually in Nigeria for 5 months at a time, and got a 1-month leave. So I used to work 3 weeks a month. I would work in Lagos, and 1 week a month I would go down to Port Harcourt and work at the yard we had there. We had 2 massive yards that were down in Port Harcourt that I used to go to, and so it's you know, it was pretty good, and I was with them for a while. And after that, I went to work for a big 4 firm as the director of oil and gas in Lagos. And after leaving them, I became an executive director for a company that oversaw financing and equipment sales for sub-Saharan Africa. So I you know, went to Rwanda, I've been to Angola, I've been to Ghana, I've been all over the place. So so that's how I ended up in Nigeria. And but the reason why I ended up leaving is, you know, when the currency started doing its stupid thing and you know, devaluing, and I went back to the States for a while, and just about this time last year, I saw the job posting for CAINERGY, and I applied and got lucky, you know. So
Yeah.
so I'll be back soon.
Coming to that now, what has so tell us what it's been like. You're the present group chief operating officer for CAINERGY Group. What has your, like, I think it's been almost a few weeks now, or months. So what has it been like?
I'm going to my 3rd month already. It's hard to.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
that being the GCO, or what's been your experience like, and what do you look forward to, like accomplishment you look forward to in the organization?
Well, I mean, it's so far the energy level at CAINERGY is really high. It's because the average age is a lot younger than me, so it's very young company. Yeah, very young professionals, people that are hungry to, you know, they're very educated, understand what they're doing, and just a great group of young professionals that I've met so far. And what I love about working with everybody is they're eager to, you know, to learn, and, you know, to be mentored and listen, and you know, they're growing. So I mean, you know, the things is it's just the projection of the growth with the company is really, it's amazing what's going to be happening over the next year or so. So there's so many projects that are in the pipeline that, you know, contracts have been signed. So we're just, you know, I'm waiting to get some things started. We got some major projects that are getting ready to start, it's just exciting so far, and I can't wait to put some of these processes and ideas and things that I've been talking with goodness, the group executive director
Yeah.
and Aisha, our CEO, of the things I've been talking about and the emails I've been sending them and the things I've been putting in place. I'm very excited about some of these things that we're going to be doing. I'm really big on the brand and making sure that we're doing things, to strengthen the brand of the company. So there's a lot of things there that I'm wanting to do. And also, you know, CAINERGY is not just a Nigerian company. We are a global company. And that's one of the major things I'm really looking forward to is there are so many opportunities throughout West Africa and the continent of Africa and Australia and the US and everywhere, because we're not just a oil and gas company. We also have DataX Global, which is an IT consulting company, where we're going to provide transformation projects and providing IT solutions, custom software development, and all those types of things. So we're going to be bringing that all to the table and growing fast. So.
Okay, so we all know that there's always one or two challenges, like when it comes to hurdles. So what are the biggest hurdles at CAINERGY Group, and what plans do you have outlined to jump these hurdles? Obviously, there's not going to be a smooth all through, so we expect that definitely one or two things, hiccups here and there.
Right. Then one of the biggest ones is getting the data captured that we have. Because we have all the projects, we got people involved, but the infrastructure behind everything is, we're not able to capture data quickly on some costs, how we're doing on cost on projects and things like that. So, and getting some financial indicators and benchmarks and things like that in place. So there's some things like that are lacking, but I've already started the process of how we're going to be doing project status reporting, and I've changed drastically how it's been done. So we're actually got all the project managers are going to be using this template that I developed. That it's very simple. They're going to show what they're currently working on, what they completed since our last meeting, what's their issues and risks if they see. They're going to have a list of benchmarks and financial indicators that they're going to have on there. But as we know right now, we're not able to get some of that stuff, but we're looking at implementing a potential new ERP system for the company this coming year as well. So those things will be there. So there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes to build the foundation of the company, make the foundation of the company very strong, to what way we can handle all the growth that's going to be happening. And getting project accountants involved in projects is very important, because a project manager is so busy making sure the project getting done and working with the customer, trying to determine what the customer is, other issues they might be having, other projects. So a project accountant takes a lot of things off of a project manager's shoulder, making sure the budget's being followed, making sure all the costs are being applied to projects correctly, and everything. So that's one of the big hurdles we have, is make sure those things get put in place. But the foundation is going to be there, because that's one of the things I'm working heavily on.
Okay, thank you so very much. All right, now over to leadership style. We do know that a lot of leaders, let's say you have one of the C-suite, it's very rigid, like it's quite difficult getting to speak to them. Like you just have this whole, like, oh, you feel, oh, I can't talk to this person at all. Like, what do you think leadership style is, and how do you think that would benefit CAINERGY Group? Are you somebody who you see as approachable? Are you somebody you see like, oh, once the family just like, oh no, I can't see Richard, like I need to.
No. I mean, I'm a big believer in, I'm here to provide a service. I'm not a dictator in any way, shape, or form. My door is always wide open, and especially my team's door, since I'm remote right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, I get calls since I'm 6 hours behind, my day starts at 1:30 a.m. usually, and nobody's afraid to reach out to me as of right now. So it's been pretty wide open. So, but some things about me, what I try to do is I try to just do the small things where people can do the same type of things, like just show up for meetings on time, be prepared, and communicate very effectively. Because that's been some of the things I've noticed. I mean, like I mean, you've seen some of my emails. It's like, be to meetings on time, start doing things the right way, and those all types of stuff. So it's just do the small things. When the small things happen, other things fall into place. So and one thing I'd really try to encourage is everybody to start looking at ways of using technology to help them to work smarter instead of getting burnt out when they're doing stuff, instead of spending crazy hours into the evening trying to get something that was told they need to get to us by Friday or something like that. So they just need to start learning how to use technology to help do that. And one thing is I really try to foster the professionalism in the environment. I believe that everyone has an opportunity to voice their opinion and give direction and to make a team better. And people need to be. I will give constructive criticism to improve things because I want you to be better. I want us to be able to have an environment where everybody is not afraid to speak up or something like that. I want people to be able to voice their opinion. And so I don't care what your position is, your age, gender, creed, or whatever. I mean, you have when I'm in the room, you have the right to say something. But be respectful the whole time when you're doing it, though. Right. I'm not a micromanager at all. I believe in, our job as executives is we should be hiring high quality professionals and allow them to express themselves and deliver what's been assigned to them. I also, as a software developer over the years, when I've been training people or getting them to do things or getting people to learn new processes, I usually let them try to do things on their own. Let them go through because sometimes when you fail, that's how you learn, and so as a developer, I failed a lot and trying to code things a certain way and that kind of stuff. And it's just, I believe in doing the same thing. So I believe in giving people the rope and see how they do. If they can pull themselves up or they hang themselves, so it's like they're going to go either way with it, but I'm here to help with that. So, because like for an example, when I got there, when I started, I sat through the first managers meeting, and it went almost 2 hours for a managers meeting on a Monday. And I said, this is ridiculous. Everybody had their own slide presentation. They all had their own style of doing a slide presentation and everything. So the first thing I did, it was one of the first things I did with the company, is like, okay, everybody's going to use the same template, and we're going to do everything the same way. Now the meeting's over in about 40 minutes, and we're able to get everything, understand, we're able to see quickly what the issues are and things like that. So, but what I did though, when I first put that out, I let them try it. And then after a couple of weeks, I said, okay, now you've all tried it. Now here's how you're really going to use it. So, just that way it sticks, and it's been working really well.
True. Yeah, I must say that, yes, based on the few conversations we've had, I think, yes, you're someone that is very accessible, and I think you're very welcoming. So this is my own feedback to you.
Yeah.
So, and I believe a lot of people also have that same thing. And okay, on a lighter note, yes, you made mention of DataX, and also you made mention of your Nigerian experience. So over the time of you being in Nigeria, was that like a favorite food? Was there one meal in particular you eat?
Well, I mean, back when I was in Nigeria before, I was a meat eater at that time, so I was a big suya fan, and my favorite suya was Glover Court in Ikoyi. I only lived like 2 blocks from there, and I used to walk down to Glover Court and get my suya. But during the pandemic, I became a vegan. So I've been a
Oh,
vegan now for almost 4 years. So I'm interested to see how it's going to be when I come back to Nigeria to figure out what foods I'm going to be eating more of. But jollof rice, I used to eat a lot of before too, so that's still going to be there. So,
so right
so it's just
that was here you party jollof rice. Just get ready.
yeah, that's right.
All right, now over
So
to the next question. Now, what is your vision for Synergy Group over the next 5 years, and how do you plan on achieving this?
I mean, like I said before, Synergy is a global company. We have no borders. So I mean, we're got 3 offices in Nigeria, one in Australia. Before the pandemic, we actually had an office in Ghana, and our training department, CPS, has been to Rwanda and all over the place doing things. So I really see us strengthening and cementing more of a global presence over the next 5 years. And just like I said earlier, there's so many opportunities going on. Like on West Africa, BP's got this huge gas find off the coast of West Africa. They're going to be drilling for a long time. So there's a lot of opportunity there for us to get involved. There's a lot of things in Ghana, Senegal, and things that are going on as well. And even, if we want to get involved, over towards Dubai or something like that. I mean, with DataX, and DataX is going to actually probably open up a lot of doors for us because we don't care what the industry is with DataX. Even though we want to be an oil and gas, provide services for an oil and gas company, but if somebody come along, a mining company or an energy company, they're going to need an ERP system most likely, or some kind of transformation. We'll be able to do that. Any custom programming, we'll be able to do it. And that's going to open up a lot of doors for us. And I see that as a way of really growing. I think we need to, as we're doing this with technology, as we hire people, we're going to hire the brightest and the best that are out there. Because one of the things I believe is, we're going to invest a lot into people, and we're going to make sure that once people come in, they stay. And we want them to make this feel like this is a company that when I come into, it feels like a home, and that's, they're going to want to stay. So, and we're going to make sure they're taken care of. So, I think it's one of the things we're going to do, and I really believe that in 5 years. I really believe by this time next year we're going to look totally different, and in 5 years it's going to be. It's just I can't imagine how many offices we're probably going to have in 5 years. I would say we'll have more than, we'll be close to about 7 or 8 offices, or we'll have in 5 years. So. Yep.
And for those who are joining us, yeah, Synergy is on LinkedIn. So we have Synergy Group on LinkedIn. We have DataX Global on LinkedIn, Subdrill Services on LinkedIn. So if you want to know more about DataX, you want to know what they're into, what Synergy is into, we're also on LinkedIn aside from Instagram and Facebook. So so how do you leverage your IT and ERP expertise, professional innovation?
Yeah, I mean, over my 25 plus years of working with ERP systems and technology, every company I've been at, I get involved in all aspects of the company. Everything from I can be sitting down with an accountant, helping them define a chart of accounts, coming up with the best ways of doing accounts payable, and I could also be sitting down with the guys in the warehouse, which way is the best way to put inventory away, how to pick it, how to get things assigned to projects, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I've been involved in a lot of that. So when I worked at an EPC company in Nigeria, I was involved in warehouse and inventory heavily. We got project-based equipment and things that you have versus spare parts and PPE equipment and things for asset management and all that kind of stuff. We need a way of segregating. So like when I was with a CPC company, I helped them redefine how the warehouse was set up and making sure it was optimized to work with the ERP system we had. And so I did that. And with finance, I sat down with finance and EPC company, and I knew how every transaction, type of transaction that would hit the general ledger, how it was being done, the debit and credit of the whole side. Because I could sit down with an accountant and we could do T accounts and go through how, if you do an inventory transfer, what gets credited, what gets debited. If you do something with AP, if you receive a voucher, what happens to it with when the accounts payable trade gets hit versus what cost gets hit on the GL side of it. So I've been involved with all that. Then when it gets like with procurement, when I was with there, I helped them design how the purchase orders will work, the requisitions will be. I helped them come up with a strategy on how to make sure we get the right vendors. And when we send out recs, we don't send out a requisition to one company. We send it out to a minimum of 3, and that way we can, go through our preferred vendors and choose the most competitive and help save money and those types of things. Then we also come up with ways of categorizing vendors and things like that, which I've already started some of that here at CAINERGY, because I've given procurement and QA like a way of categorizing vendors, so that way when we're doing QA audits and things like that, vetting of the vendors, depending on if they're going to be somebody that's going to be a strategic partner, yeah, we have to really vet them. QA needs to make a visit, go do all their things. It might take a long time to do it, but versus somebody that we're dealing with that creates our T-shirts with CAINERGY on them, we don't have to vet them as deeply, So there's ways of categorizing vendors and making it easier and faster for certain things that we need to do and that kind of stuff. So I believe the things that I've done in the past, that with new technology nowadays, that I can, implement those types of things and probably improve on it because of the technology has changed and everything as well too.
Yeah. So I believe you have 1 or 2 outlined steps as regards project management perspective, the EPC project.
Right. Some of the things that need to be done, we need to solidify the project life cycle and how things are hand over during this process. Because I just had a conversation with Aisha, our CEO, last week, and she, voiced her issues about how there's not really a good handover in that here.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did after that conversation is I developed what the life cycle is about, and we're actually going to be sharing that soon with the project team and the operations and everybody. So that way, when BD wins something, BD then will hand it over to legal, and legal will finish up the contracts. So when that's done, then BD and legal then will sit down with operations, the project manager, and give them all up to date on everything that's been going on and totally hand it over. BD goes back and does what they do best, go find jobs. That way they're not buried down into the deep of the whole thing. We can get operating on this. That way people don't have to follow something from beginning to end, because that'll wear you out. I mean, that's one of the things that Aisha was saying, that she has to get involved right now, and she has to basically follow stuff all the way through to the end. So we need to stop that type of thing. So another thing that I've been working on, I've already implemented, is a project execution plan template. I give the project managers a template how to develop a project execution plan and do it in the correct detail, and where it's easily customizable based on the type of project. So we can have this plan put in place. It, has all the communications and everything that's going to be done, who's going to do what throughout. Then underneath that, then the project managers and schedulers then will be giving a more detailed work breakdown structure. And it'll be, the project managers need to, even though they have a scheduler to help them with this, the project managers need to take ownership of it and making sure that it's being done. Don't just rely on somebody else. The project managers need to take ownership of the whole thing. One thing that's fairly good here is the QA and HSC people with the company are very experienced people, and so right now, they need to get involved. And one of the things, like Albenici, our QA guy, he wants to get make sure we get more inspectors involved and more QA people involved in the project. So that's one of the things that we're going to make sure we're going to be doing, getting more people involved, making sure that's done. And Alex, our HSE guy, he's very detailed and very good at what he does. So he's one of the people I do not have to micromanage. I can tell you that right now. He knows what he's doing at HSE, so he's really good. Yes, yes. Customer communications, another thing it needs to improve. When we're doing projects, we need to have a minimum of weekly statuses with the customer to let them know what's going on. The project managers could basically use almost the exact same template that I've given them on how they do status to me. They can do almost the exact same thing to the customer, and so that way also too, when they're there, if they interact more with the customer and give these types of things, what that does is the more you interact with a customer might come up with another problem that they're having that they need help on. If you don't talk to the customer, you'll never know those things.
Yeah.
So the more we talk with the customer and understand what their issues are, the more work we'll get. So then, making sure that people that we put on projects are always busy. Make sure the utilization of people that are put on projects that they're busy. And if they're not busy, we need to reallocate them, put them somewhere else to make sure that because that's one of the things that we're trying to bring down is our subcontractors and things like that too, is bring down those costs. So if somebody's subcontractor is not busy enough, we need to find something else for them to do to make sure we're getting our money's worth for things that are happening. So, and then one other thing is with project management and these EPC projects is budgets and cost capturing. We need to be able to track costs better, manpower better, and all those types of things. So, but that's all involved in with us doing a new ERP system that can handle these types of things and building the infrastructure behind it all. So that's my 2 cents worth on project management with EPC.
like I said, see, Richie is when you say a wealth of experience, like this is like from a river, and you're just dishing out more and more outline points there. So we all know that, yes, like the way things are done in the United States of America is different from the way things are done in Nigeria.
Right.
So how do you bring your international experience and influence to your approach to managing Synergy Group's operation?
Well, I mean, it's the one thing about how I've worked with companies is the multicultural communication that you have to have. Because, for the last 5 years, I've had an offshore team in India that I had to communicate with almost daily. I used to get up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., depending on which project I was on, and I had daily calls with them. And so, it's the same thing when I was with the EPC company before in Nigeria. We had, not just Nigerians, we had people from the Philippines, we had people from India, we had people from the US, UK, Australia, South Africa, and we had people from everywhere. So,
diverse culture.
Yeah, so it's very diverse, a lot of different cultures. And that was one of the things I learned when I first came to Nigeria is how I communicate. Because before, my email responses were 3 or 4 words, and that was it. And people took that as rude, So, but if you see me nowadays, you see my emails, you'll see a totally different person now. My emails are pretty long. I want to make sure I get my point across and very detailed nowadays. So, I'm also very big in making sure as a global team, because as we grow and we start getting in different countries and things like that, we need to be able to coordinate very well because people are in different time zones. We had a call this morning with a guy in Australia and people in Nigeria and me in the US. It was nighttime for him and it was 3 a.m. for me. So it was like, but we have to learn to coordinate those things. And also too, it doesn't make a difference which country you're from or anything like that. If you're an expert, we want you to be involved. By doing that, you got to make sure that um, you're very sensitive to the culture and sensitive to the fact, even though they might be from India or they might be from Malaysia or whatever, you have to be sensitive to the fact that what they have to say is just as important as what I have to say. And, because I mean, you know how it is, even in Nigeria, there's, I've seen it where people talk different to people that they consider below them and things like that. I absolutely hate that. I don't think it's right and absolutely hate it. And I know like in India, people have like the caste system and everything too as well. I've, had to work through that before in the past. So, but you got to be very sensitive to those things. And that's, I mean, so you got to make sure you include everybody
True.
and then just leverage the best practices for doing things for how to maintain the standards and making sure operations are always going to continue no matter what's happening. So you just got to make sure you work really close together and give everybody the respect they deserve.
Thank you so much. And for those who don't
Yep.
know, mutual respect is one of our core values here at CAINERGY Group. So no matter the level you are in, even if we have a first name policy, respect is still demanded within the organization. Okay. Now we know that a lot of people have professionalism means different things to different people. So how do you plan to foster professional growth and development within CAINERGY Group?
I mean, the one of the main things is training, and it sort of goes into mentorship at the same time, because our like people need to know how like becoming a new manager or somebody gets in a lead role. They need to learn how to do that, and sometimes you just don't like. I mean, like for yourself, you're a one-person show basically in the communications department, but you're doing things as a lead person, so it's you got to be able to start getting people to understand how this is how I should act as somebody in this role, and train them on that. And
True.
like I said earlier, it's doing the small things. If people start seeing you do the small things, all the big things will happen just fine. And so that's all about how I see mentoring and training people and making sure they get and also too, as we bring in a new ERP system or we get new technology for asset management, or we, do some things with mining or something like that, we might have new equipment that we're bringing in. We got to make sure our people are trained on it, and that way we're experts on it. So when we go to customers, they see that we know what we're talking
True.
about and everything as well. So, and another thing is, everybody has KPIs, and
Exactly.
right. So, I mean, I just sent out an email this week to all the manager level people that we're actually going to start having monthly performance reviews where they're going to actually present their KPIs and how they're doing. It's what that does is it fosters accountability on what they're doing, because honestly, we don't want people just to coast by on their job and think they're coasting. They need to be accountable, because as the company grows, we got to make sure we have people that we can trust. Because once you show that, then we can give you more things to do. We can give you more responsibility. So I mean, the only way we can give you more responsibility is you can prove that you're doing what we're already giving you. So that's why we're having this performance review that's going to be happening monthly. And I think as the company grows, we need to put in place, certain career paths. I mean, eventually departments are going to be more than one person. So once we get to that point, we're going to have career path, because like I said earlier, we invest in people and we don't want to lose people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we gotta have opportunities for them, because that last thing you want is somebody that's been with you for 2 years and you didn't give them an opportunity to get a promotion or something like that, and they'll leave, and so we just don't want that to happen. And I also believe in in giving people an opportunity to lead. For an example, I did this we have a team that reviews the websites weekly and things like that. I basically reached out, Blessed, our internal control guy. You're going to lead this meeting on Thursdays. He's not a website guy or nothing like that, but I give him an opportunity to lead, so I give it to him. So I'll be doing that with a lot of people as the more I'm in the company and stuff. So, and I think too, as we start getting more projects that are in different countries and things like that, that's going to open up a lot of opportunity for people to get involved in areas that they might not have before. And I mean, like our training department, we have trainings. I was amazed at how many trainings we have. These 5-day trainings that they're everywhere. They're in Nigeria, they're Houston, Dubai, wherever you want to go. I mean, it's asset management to leader management. It's like that broad of a spectrum of training, So, so if you're on here and your company needs trained up, you should contact us. It's amazing.
Training services. That's training@CAINERGY.com. So in case you have training service, you want to do collaboration with CAINERGY Group, training@CAINERGY.com is the email, or you contact r.wingo@CAINERGY.com. Okay.
Right. And I mean, the last thing is, the last couple of things is making sure we have a good feedback system that, because we want to make sure we're continuously improving what we're doing, and then recognize people, give a reward of excellence. So one of the things like QA just did is they give out an award for somebody that's following the QA standards really well in the company. So they just, Emmanuel got. There's Emmanuel A. I see there's 2 Emmanuel A's in our company, so I wasn't sure which one it was, but
I don't want to call his son because I'm going to murder it. So let me just
yeah, because it was not this long.
Let's do it. There's Emmanuel Lagos and there's Emmanuel Abuja. So Emmanuel was born. So,
okay.
now we don't get like, oh, what happened? Why did you call my name? I'm like, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, those are some things that I think it's going to be really help the company a lot with professional growth and stuff. So,
all right. Okay, so over to the next now. Sorry, me, I just lost that. Sorry. So, excuse me. My internet is
I'm just scrolling through and see who's all on here.
Yeah, people joining. To everyone joining, thank you very, very much.
Yeah. I mean, we had about 300 people said they were going to attend on LinkedIn, but I think the problem there is people are going to click on the LinkedIn, they're thinking it's going to be a LinkedIn event and everything. Yeah. So, but the nice thing about this, it's recorded, so I can actually send this to them all. When it's done. Yeah.
Okay, so over to the next questions, because we do have a whole lot of listeners in here now. What do you have to say to our listeners regarding your sorry, permit me, my system is okay. Excuse me, sorry. So we do have the lineup of questions so that we don't go out of place. And then
right, it's number 11. I can't score where we're at. Yep. It's the one about
so for live, for those wondering why I'm scrolling through for live information, you don't want to say something then as somebody says, oh, what did you say online? You don't want to be held accountable for something online.
Yeah.
So what message would you like to leave with our listeners about the future of CAINERGY Group and the impact you hope to make? So this is Richie and the role of the group.
Right.
For those who don't know, CAINERGY Group we have 5 different subsidiaries, which is data. We have sub-drill services, we have CAINERGY Construction, and so CAINERGY International. So these are like the different subsidiaries. Now you have someone held in the position of the group chief operating officer. So what do you want to leave and the future impact you have on this present position?
Well, one thing as the new group CEO is I'm very committed to steering the group to future innovation, especially with excellence in the EPC and IT sectors, because EPC, asset management, and IT, like I said earlier, I really believe that's going to open up a lot of doors.
Yeah.
It's going to get us a lot of places. So, like I said, I'm very committed to that. Using my leadership ability and my experience in the oil and gas industry, coming up with transformation type solutions for our projects. Even, there's a lot of companies in Nigeria, but the thing that's going to set us apart from the rest of them is our technology, and we will bring more innovation and things like that to the table than any other company in West Africa. I can tell you that right now, because it's just what the things that I've done in the past that I know that are not being done in West Africa. So that's why I'm really excited about some of the opportunities that we're going to have. And with strategic growth, as the company has these projects in place, like I said earlier, is making sure that we have the infrastructure behind it to handle all this growth and to integrate technology in so many different ways to help reach these different benchmarks and things that we have that we want to reach. There's different levels we want to reach, so making sure we do. And at the same time, doing all these things, we got to make sure we're doing everything we can to empower our team. Get them in-depth knowledge of the new technologies, get them equipped to what they have to do to tackle changes every day. Don't send a mechanic without his tool chest. That's the thing, I'm a big believer in it. So if you go somewhere, we got to make sure you have everything that you need to take care of it. And then, like I said earlier, expanding my outreach with DataX Global. There's so many things that we can do there, especially with the background that I'm bringing, especially as the infrastructure with the internet and things is getting better in Africa. So the opportunity of cloud-based solutions and things like that are going to be something we will be able to bring to the table and do. So, and industry contribution is, we're poised to deliver unparalleled value. I mean, we're going to have sustainable practices, the quality service, and we're going to be relentless in the pursuit of excellence. So we're going to just roll up our sleeves and go after stuff. So
I think that
just the way it's going to be.
the question in the comment section says, who are your safer competitors in the market? There's several other companies. I'm not going to drop any names. I didn't drop names on who I worked with, so I'm not going to drop names because right now I feel that nobody can compete with us on a technology basis. I don't feel we don't have a competitor for that. So that's why I feel like we're set above when it comes to technology, the things that we're going to be able to bring to the table. There is no competitor. So, Okay, so thank you very much, Richie. So the final question for you. So we have potential clients, and I'm sure they're looking forward to partner with CAINERGY. So what's that last statement you have?
I mean, like I said, we're more than a service provider. We're your dedicated partner in achieving your project success. So with our combined experience with oil and gas, I mean, you got with Aisha and Goodness and myself as the executive team, I mean, it's the experience there is very high. And like I said earlier, alongside with our cutting edge solutions, we're going to be equipped to handle your most ambitious projects with excellence. We'll be able to dive right in and take care of it. So I'm here to assure you that we're ready to roll up our sleeves, work alongside you, blending your vision with our innovation, and just show our operational prowess. So, I mean, together, let's, develop new standards for excellence and turn challenges into triumphs. So let's make things happen. And I'm here. So like I said, you said my email several times. It's r.wingo@cainergy.com. That looks like CAINERGY, but it is CAINERGY. So
I think
it took me a little while to get that. Yeah. I should. Yeah. Yep. So.
All right. So that's r.wingo wingo at CAINERGY.
Because I mean, like I was saying, we have an opportunity here in West Africa and globally to get involved in a lot of different industries. Even though oil and gas is our focus, but you know, there's a lot of mining operations throughout the continent. There's a lot of things happening with even IT companies that might need our help to do some things as well too, that might be reaching out to us. So there's a lot of things that we can do, and so I'm very excited about being with CAINERGY, and the future is very bright.
Thank you so very much, Richie, for having us. Thank you for.
You're very welcome.
We get to call you. And those who are just joining us, we have been having a session which is who we are at CAINERGY Group with the Group Chief Operating Officer, Richie Wingo. And like I just said, his email is r.wingo@cainergy.com. For our website is www.cainergy.com. For trainings, yes, in case you're interested in trainings, you want to get involved or a collaboration with CAINERGY Training Services, that's trainings@cainergy.com. And yes, you have any project, ERP, you have any projects you want to do that you know that yes, we can partner with, and you see for that you know CAINERGY will be interested in with all the necessary documentations, there's not going to be hiccups and all that. That is info@CAINERGY. You can go to our website, www.cainergy.com again. And I did say, we are on LinkedIn at CAINERGY Group. DataX, that's the information technology, is DataX Global on LinkedIn as well. Subdrill Services also on. So we're not just limited to Instagram and Facebook. We are on LinkedIn. I'm ready to work with you. I remain Omomi Dan Okai, the corporate and PR specialist for CAINERGY Group. See you on. I was going to say you're going to guess who we're going to bring up next, but I'll leave you till that time. So see you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.